everything came out, and I was like, oh, I got to take myself to the table. Now, mind you, Will and I were not together. We hadn't been together. 2016. And I decided I'm going to take myself to the table. Will says, I want to come to the table with you. And I was really surprised, and I was like, wow. He's like, I don't want you to be at the table by yourself. I want to support you.
What's going on, y'all? Man, it's King Cliff holding it down for the Cool Tip, man. I'm right back at you. Right here, we have a continuation of the Jada Pinkett, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, and Chris Rock situation. And also, August Alsina. She dives deeper into it. And I don't know if it helps her. I don't know if it paints her in a different light. We're going to discuss that on the back end. Check it out.
Can I tell the little twist part?
Yeah, you tell the little twist part.
Set it up, because this one I was ready to throw my book across the room. Go.
Yeah. So, everything came out, and I was like, oh, I got to take myself to the table. Now, mind you, Will and I were not together. We hadn't been together. 2016. And I decided I'm going to take myself to the table. Will says, I want to come to the table with you. And I was really surprised, and I was like, wow. He's like, I don't want you to be at the table by yourself. I want to support you. And so I was like, oh, okay. So he comes to the table, and I try to just, and this is a really complex moment. We come to the table, and Will's not ready. He's not ready. And he's kind of backtracking. And he's going through this motion. And I'm like, So I'm like, well, I'm going to have to speak my truth. But I'm also going to protect you. So if I got to look like the adulterous wife to make sure you're good, I'm going to do it. Y'all. So, and that wasn't the case. But I wanted him to be okay. Now, also in that moment, two things. As I'm moving forward, I'm also moving backwards. Because of what I realized at that moment, I got in my martyrdom bag. And what that is for me is, I hadn't quite learned how to love myself and not leave Will on the side of the road. And I hadn't learned how to love Will and not leave myself on the side of the road. And in that moment, because I felt so bad that he was in this situation, I decided I'm going to love you, Will, and I'm going to leave myself at the side of the road. And I wouldn't have known that that was an aspect that I needed to heal if it hadn't been for my kids, my mother was so hurt that I had done that to myself.
Yeah, because they actually asked you afterwards. Now, mind you, smart businesswoman. They own their content. She could have killed it.
Yeah.
She could have said, "Oh, heck no, this didn't work as planned."
Yeah.
But you did it anyway.
Yeah, my manager, Miguel, Ellen Rakuten, who's the producer, they begged me. My PR, my Karen Censor, they all begged me. They were like, please don't do this, please don't do this. And two things, I was like, I needed people to know. First, I wasn't going to be emotionally blackmailed. Right. Yes, ma'am. I was like, hold up.
No.
I'm gonna put myself out there. You ain't got the period. And on top of it, I want Will out. I don't want him part of this. Okay, I'm the bad guy. I'm the worst. Great. Let's be done with it.
Right.
I wanted it done. You got your answer. I'm the adulterous wife. Let's be done. And let's move on. You know, as to get him through it, the family through it, let it go. Right? And, but I had to learn. That was a big learning moment for me. I wouldn't have been able to see that aspect of myself that needed to learn that I could love myself and love others. That we could all be on the road together. Which why this book was so important too, because I'm not leaving nobody on the side of the road. You know, including myself for once, right? You know, and that's a big part of me.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
Getting upset with hearing the truth. Go work on your game. Don't get mad at me, nigga. I'm here telling the truth. If somebody else should have told you this, I'm the only one telling you the truth. And then you want to run up on me. Don't do it. Don't do it.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
So here's my thing. We don't know the ins and outs of people's relationships and marriages. We just see what they show. And many times people do wear several different masks for several different reasons. This is a hierarchy couple that has been even painted as the identity of black love or the representation of black love. Everybody loves Will Smith. And it's very much so possible that what she's saying, you know, is true as far as her sacrificing herself to make Will look better or stronger. But the fact still remains that even if they were preserving themselves and wearing masks to present and preserve that image, you know, preserve their family and grow their brand, her actions were so reckless that they overflowed into reality where they were too hard to cloak. And when you do things like that, when you cross that line where your mask or your cloak can't even keep what's supposed to be inside business inside, it's a problem. So let's say we even go with the idea of the cloak or preserving the brand, because many marriages, especially at this high level, become a business, right? So when your actions are so atrocious, so bold, so what the fuck, where they damage the brand and leak out of the cloak that we have presented and used as covering, because there's been many secrets and many rumors about the Smith family. You know, it's in particular Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, how they got down in the bedroom and yada, yada, yada. Right? But the brand was so strong that many times we disregarded it because we saw what they presented and we believed in what they presented. When your actions are so raw that they damage the brand, there's a problem. That's almost a rebelliousness. That's almost a, let me break these chains and I don't care what it happens. I don't care if it burns down the house. And now you're playing catch up. And there's a saying that says, it takes about 10 good things to replace one bad thing. So when she did this one bad thing, which there were several different rumors about how she got down and how she, you know, for real. But this one was so public and so atrocious to deal with the friend's son, this young kid that, you know, we know who August Alsina is, but, you know, this is your son's friend. close to the family. Even if y'all were separated or broken up or separated, to do him, there was no buzzer in your mind. You play this whole wise queen, intellectual, red table, let's talk about it type of woman, but there was nothing in you to say no. I'm Jada Pinkett. I can get dick from anywhere. Why would I do this here? You feel me? So even when I hear all this, I still feel as if this is another attempt to capitalize on pain in the family, pain in Will, and to flip the narrative. And the attempt was such a poor attempt because it really didn't reek of humbleness. It reeked of lack of accountability. It reeked of justification for actions. Even the women that were clapping in it, if you notice, it sounded like they didn't pay into the crowd, but it sounded as if only half of the crowd or a portion of the crowd clapped at certain points of her thing where she was looking like she was trying to make a point, because it innately sounds as if you do not care, as if you're excuse me, as if you're pushing aside your responsibilities in this thing, as if you're naive to the fact that perception is reality, as if you do not hit. She even said her PR people were telling her this: don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Why were they saying that? Because whatever story she was selling and saying this is going to work, they were saying no, it will not work. It's going to make it worse. It's going to make you look worse. It's just not going to work, right? And she never said that Will came in there acting or portraying, or she saw genuine hurt in this man that was having to relive this. And even her own words said he wanted to support her while she was coming and trying to tell her truth. And we all saw how her truth went and how brutal that truth went. So even with her own context, you see and hear and can imagine what this brother went through by sitting there. And I don't care if they were divorced, separated. Well, they clearly wasn't divorced, but separated at this time. The fact of the matter is, she fucked her son's friend, who was a family friend. They had to cope with that. And this man was man enough to come to the table, your table, and sit there and relive that while you were focused on what would purify your spirit, what would take the burden off of you. Then you give this story of, hey, I see he's going through it, so if you want to paint me as the bad wife or the adulterous person, okay. And it almost feels like a narrative flip versus a accountability strengthening. Because there's strength in accountability. It strengthens your character. It strengthens who you are as a person. It allows you to see the ins and outs of how life works as a sociologist almost, because you see how your actions can affect other people's actions and the domino effect and et cetera, et cetera. That's a deeper chapter. But whatever she was attempting to do here outside of sell her book to the people that really care about her version of this story failed. But it definitely intrigued those women that want to feel empowered by doing what is best for you and not as what is best for the family, for the whole. And even though she said she did this for the whole, and then she flipped and said that people inside the circle, her kids, her mom, were like, why are you doing this? Why are you taking the brunt of this? Well, maybe she's taking the brunt of it initially because accountability is like, I was the domino that made all this fall. I fucked this little nigga. I had a relationship with this little nigga who was my son's friend. It leaked out, and all this backlash and all this dominoes and all this shit fell because of my actions. Let's say even Will was also dabbling and doing some shit with some people on the other side, or, you know, like dealing with girls and stuff and doing his thing. We never heard about that. He was moving smoother than that. He was preserving the brand, the family, the image, the royalty. He was doing whatever he was doing, and I'm just trying to be fair, because if what she's saying is true and what we've heard that they were separated, okay, cool. Maybe he was doing his thing, but he was doing it in a way that we never knew the cracks within the well. Her actions were so self-focused that she didn't care how they trickled down to her son, which was August's friend, her daughter, which makes you think like maybe this is in the bloodline, the family image of black love. She just didn't care. She was about lust. I don't give a fuck if you talk about attraction. There's no way it was about that, because what her real attraction would be, I would imagine, would be somebody like Will. Maybe not the softness of Will, but more so of the power of Will and how he grows it, like for real. Like, what is Will Smith? You feel me? And many times women do cheat down. They want the grittier, grimier motherfucker. And August is a grittier, grimier motherfucking version of Will. Even though he's a R&B singer, he's a little bit cut different. So long story short, I feel like whatever she was attempting to do, which I think it was just basically to put her version out there and support this book, push this book, which it probably will work. People want to hear this thing because this story is still going and it still has intriguing factors to it. But it still hurts the family more, having to relive this, I would imagine. I'm sure they probably talk privately. And there's a lot of weird things within this family. So maybe they're numb to the Hollywood rigmarole. But yet and still, I would imagine as human beings, this is tough to digest over and over again. And I would imagine for Will, it's hard to live when once upon a time, Will was one of the pinnacles, one of the pinnacles of male blackness, even if it was the good version of male blackness with swag. He wasn't, the drug dealer gangster. He was a black brother from Philly who had swag, but he was also a good guy. You feel me? So he painted a really good image in our eyes. So I just wanted to bring this to you guys, and this is my take on it, and I would love to debate about it. I'll catch all y'all cool kids next time.